So there's a lot that is happening in this chapter of Choujin X, and it's all evolve around Soren. And now we get the real details about her story, her conclusions, and what's kind of what happened. Because a little bit of a backstory: Master Mado and Soren, they used to work together because Master Mado, she had future sight, but hers was more accurate compared to Zorin. And then so there they made the Yamato of Mori so that way they can go ahead in battle against the Queen Choujin. But suddenly, certain things has happened, and there we see Master Mado. She took over the Yamano of Mori and kicked out Zorin and labeled Zorin as a witch. And anyone who follows Zorin is outcast as well. But now with this chapter, now we know the real reason why she was labeled as the witch. But we also get more backstory on what happened during that war. And remember, chapter 33, we thought that there were significant mind games because Master Mado, even though she had the power of future sight and it was more accurate, she couldn't even see the Dark Calamity. But Zora, she's able to see the Dark Calamity. And then there we kind of just see the friction because you have one side seeing this and you have the other side seeing this. So it's kind of like each of them is trying to have their own personal game. And you see Master Mado, she kind of looks sus at this moment, especially after the last chapter, because she told Sendek to go ahead and kill Batista right in front of their faces. So Master Mado, she is alive and she's actually waking up and she has the interactions with Tokyo and Seto as she's congratulating Tokyo on the job well done while he was protecting the other city or country where he was when he was doing his training. And so at this time, she was just like, yo, Tokyo, I want you to be in this task force where we're going to take down Zora because Zora is actually losing her power and she doesn't have the power of foresight anymore. So Tokyo was just like, okay, but first, let me go ahead and talk to Zora because I want to know more information about the Beast foundations in the future site. But I also did promise her that I will go to her later and discuss about the mark of the beast. And then there we see Master Mado. She's actually thinking about it. And then she was just like, you know what? No, this is the perfect time for this. And I want you to get more rested because, of course, you came back and you're kind of banged up. So I want you to be more rested. So while that time you're resting, you'll be ready to go ahead and do this task force. So she was just like, this is our perfect opportunity to go ahead and strike against Zora because the last time we attacked her and she was powerful, pretty much most of their soldiers were injured because recently they had a prison break where Batista was able to free the Snake Choujin and many other prisoners, and no one couldn't do anything because they were all trying to heal their wounds from that fight. So while that's happening, Tokyo was just like, oh, so you say so. So he's kind of questioning the authority of Master Mado. And you see Seto. Seto is just in the background, like, bro, like Tokyo, what are you doing? Like, just chill, bruh. So then Tokyo, he goes on ahead and he meets up with Ellie. And while Seto is talking to Master Mado, and then there we see Seto is just like, I apologize for, how he is. But Master Mado is just like, you know what? He's young. He's cool. I like his attitude. And so Seto is just like, I want him to train more and I want him to be like, underneath my wing more because he is going to be like, my student. So, of course, we get more into details on this mission that Master Mado wants Tokyo, Azuma, Ellie, and other Choujins to join in. So the operation is to stop Zora's drug dealers because Zora is actually addicted to opioid. And this is where she used to actually keep herself alive and avoid the pain because one, Trojans hate pain. So when they do raids, they're supposed to do it when it's like, your last ditch effort and, you're supposed to like not do it consistently. Well, we know that when Trojans goes on ahead and use raise a lot, you start to lose your humanity, your senses, and you go into your chaotic state. And this is what happened when we saw that Zora was actually in the battle when she was battling against the Queen Choujin. Because when Oipion was there, we saw that Zora used it during her battle because she got injured badly. Like she lost her legs. She lost her limbs and her legs. And so, of course, she continued using opioid because, of course, it will like numb the pain. And she kept using her raise technique. And then this is where she started to lose her senses. Even when she defeated or beat the Queen Choujin with the help of the awakened Choujin, because the awakened Choujin was able enough to hold on his own. And then we saw that the Queen Choujin actually ran away and went to the Yamano Mori. The awakened Choujin, his tribe, and Zora, they actually teamed up together so that way they can go ahead and like defeat the Queen Choujin. And then so after that whole war and everything else, she suffered the same pain as the Queen Choujin. And then she killed her senses of the pain and fought in the state of invisibility. She was so numb of all the time and that she was not even noticed that she could fly, that the land on her arms. If children lose their senses and their self-control, what awaits them is destruction. So then when she lost her human appearance, then she just lost and just went berserk. And then that's why they put her into the tower, and that's why they call her the witch and everything else. So around this time, everyone is getting ready for this operation, so that way they can go ahead and like, bust open, the whole drug deal and the supplies and stuff, because this is going to be the ultimate opportunity to go ahead and defeat Zora. But then we see Tokyo. Tokyo was just like, when does the operation start? And then Tokyo's heard that it's 3 days, and he says that you better not. And everyone's just looking at Tokyo like, bro, like, do you know something? Like, do you know what's going on? And it seems as if that Tokyo doesn't want to go ahead and like do this. He wants to figure out there's probably a better way to actually sort everything out instead of just using violence. Because later we found out when Tokyo was in this other country or city, he actually met some friends around the way. And then so when he met some friends, he met a Choujin that has obese powers and memories. And then so he really got along with them. There's even like a picture of a news article about them. And then so one day when they actually defeated one of like the biggest Choujins that was in that location, that was like controlling that whole country or area, the right-handed man, the actual strong Choujin appeared and murdered Tokyo's new friends. And in there we see Tokyo, he was battling against, that Choujin, and he attended his friends' funerals. So Ellie was shocked to hear this news, and because she was just like, you guys took a picture of each other, like how they're dead. And then so Tokyo says, like, that picture was taken before they actually died. And then there we see Tokyo actually apologize to Ellie as well, because he apologized that, like, look, I'm sorry that I left town and I didn't tell you guys. And then Tokyo and Azuma, things are still awkward between them. And then we kind of see the locations on this lady where she's actually holding one of the disciples of Zora. And I think she's feeding him like the opioids. So because so far he started to shake and started to be like awake and stuff. So she started experimenting on one of the disciples of Zora. So that's just pretty much what we got so far in this chapter of Choujin X. It's really insane, really crazy. More stories about this war and just everything. And it's just a real good series. But let me know down in the comment section what your thought process, what your theories are for this chapter. And if you guys do like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man, and hope you guys have a wonderful day and be safe out here. Peace.